Hey, have you ever been cheated on someone else, cheated on a cheater, or cheated on cheating the cheater? If you have, we'll discuss all of that today on today's episode of Madge Unmuted.
Hey.
Hey, everybody. I could not hear that music at all.
Oh,
Yes, that's why I was a little confused. I was just trying to watch my clips go by. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Madge Unmuted. I am your hostess, Madge Madigan. That's the name my parents gave me. And with me, as always, is my number one guy, my main motivator, my guy that keeps me on track, my producer and major pain in my ass,
hey.
Scott Fitzgerald.
And I'm the reason why you couldn't hear that just now. And unfortunately, the headphones were muted. So score one for Fitz again.
Yay,
I
thanks.
just love screwing things up for you. That's what I'm here for.
It's okay.
Welcome.
Welcome to you.
Thank you.
And welcome to our Facebook Live audience.
Facebook Live.
How's everybody doing?
Keep your comments coming. Like Bridget, who says, hello.
Hello.
Thanks, Bridget. Thanks for joining us.
Bridget. I love you. You're the best.
So what's going on?
Okay. Well, we have a doozy of a topic for you today.
Do we?
It's going to be a little controversial. I know you.
Controversies. Get out of here.
Controversy. Name that person. Name that artist.
I don't know.
Prince.
Oh, Prince. That was Prince.
Thanks, Fitz. Good job. Very early Prince. Fitz, have you ever been cheated on?
Now he's late Prince, I guess.
I know. Formerly known as Prince.
No, I haven't. Not really.
Really?
To my knowledge.
Well, there is that. I shouldn't. I was gonna say, have you ever cheated? That's kind of opening up a can of worms.
Yep, I did.
Oh.
I'm a bad person, but I've since mended my ways.
You know what? You're not. Okay, so this is what we're not going to do today. I'm adjusting myself.
Adjust the chair? And I can't do anything for the camera shot because you have the remote in there. I forgot to bring it in here. So the number 3 is the one that goes down. If you want to tilt it down, you can go boop, boop, boop. There you go.
Now
so you can get your cleave.
Or I can get my cleave.
Cleve is the third member of the show, by the way. Welcome, Cleve.
Oh, look, my cup runneth over.
All over the table. Jeez.
Anyway, let's talk about cheating today. No, we are not.
Hard.
You're cheating.
It's like one big country song.
It is.
Yeah.
We're not going to be judgmental here, though, because I know. It always makes me feel better about myself to be judgmental.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to do that because everybody has stuff that's happened. So, I have been on the receiving end of infidelity numerous times over my life. What does that say about me? Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it says anything about you. I think it says something about the people that you've been with.
Yeah, but if I'm picking them.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to get really down deep, you could, but that's victim blaming. You don't want to blame yourself for choosing the wrong person.
True.
It's a lot of that is luck.
Well, yeah. I mean, and also people portray themselves to you how they want to.
Oh yeah. Look at Facebook.
Yeah. And they can pretend the shit out of what they're really like. And then it comes out what they really are. But that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
It's a whole nother.
It's another bag
thing.
Of dog shit.
Yeah, it is. Anybody on Facebook, if you want to tell us if you've ever been cheated on or you've cheated, if you are so brave to say you have.
Yeah. Cheaters, this is a safe space for you.
It really is. Because I want to talk about the reasons. Yeah, we're not going to bash people. We're just trying to understand people in relationships. Okay. Do you think man was meant to be monogamous, Fitz?
Now, that's a really difficult question for me to answer. From a scientific species sense, I think no. I think no male of any species was meant to be monogamous in the way that we know it. As in meant to, but can be and chooses to be. I mean, there are some.
I don't know him.
You don't know Ken? It's my anyway. There are some, I don't know what they are, but some animals that mate for life. That they choose one mate, and that's their instinct. I don't know if it's an instinct for humans.
I tend to agree. So yeah.
And some people are better at it than others.
This is true. So with that, we're going to go into why people cheat. But the other thing I want to get to is not just the people that are involved in the relationship. We're going to get to the other people. Is it their fault? Is it the other man or woman's fault?
The other man or woman?
Yeah, like if the woman cheats.
Oh, and you're accepting of the fact that this person you're with is cheating on their person. Right? Are you part of the problem?
No.
No?
Say Joe and Sue are married. Say Joe cheats on Sue with Betty. Sue goes after Betty.
She hates Betty because Betty was the
Really,
homewrecker.
is it Yeah.
Is it Betty's fault? Right.
Right.
Which
you'll hear what I have to say about that.
Okay. Can't wait.
Okay. So I did some digging into various sources as to why people go outside of the relationship or whatever. And it's pretty goddamn obvious, This is a collective from several sources that why men cheat. We got immaturity. We got when they're made to feel inadequate. Well, okay, they need more attention. There's a lot that combine that are all kind of the same as their ego. Their ego. They need some stroking. Then there is some, wacky stuff like sex addiction, or addition, whatever you like. They want to add some more sex. Same thing. Here's one that I find that I was a victim of. Was they're looking for a way out of the relationship.
Oh, like they don't have the balls to just break up, so they figured they'll cheat so that they can get
and then
cast out?
Yes. That's
stupid.
Mine. That was one.
That was what happened to you? It was
one part of it. He kept making me say, "What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" Yeah. So that he.
I guess I could see that. I guess I could see that doing the thing. Being a way and a way out.
Yeah. And then there is another one in that same making an excuse. You're lining up the next one. You don't want to be alone. And you're just making it an excuse. I found somebody else. I got to go by.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the balls to say, look, you're just not doing it for me.
And I just wanted to say one thing. Today's episode of Madge Unmuted is not to be taken as any kind of advice or relationship. We are not trained social therapy workers or whatever they called. And listen at your own risk.
Yeah, exactly. Do not tell your lawyer, Madge told me. Yeah, this is just all speculation, gesticulation.
Ooh, that sounds dirty. Castration? Yes, that usually happens after the gesticulation.
Yeah, I know. So another thing is escape real life pressures. That was another one. That's really freaking tough. When you have little kids, if there is anything that's a boner killer, is little kids.
Right.
Some guys just like the hunt.
Yeah, the thrill of the hunt. And then
yeah, the thrill of the hunt.
An H in that word.
With an H.
But yeah, it's there's a lot of people like that. It's about the game. It's about playing the game, and then when you win the game, you're bored. It's like,
well,
I know women like that too.
That's another that's one thing that I realized I had been a victim. I don't know if you want to call it a victim or whatever, recipient of the catch and release program.
What are you, a trout now?
Yes.
Hey, last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook in it.
Oh,
Hey.
I bet you was something before electricity. Yeah, there's guys out there that just like to collect phone numbers or whatever. Yeah, and then you find out that they're married, and it's like, oh well, whatever. I didn't want to.
Oh man.
I didn't want to be.
Well, yeah, I mean.
But anyway,
the male hooers.
Yeah. Just two real quick things that we'll move on. Some guys got FOMO.
Yeah.
Fear
of missing out on some strange
whatever. Another a bigger, better deal.
Yeah, the BBD.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, I dated a lot of those. And then some just don't have impulse control.
But I think a lot of these what? Go ahead.
No, and then one other I forgot that I'd been privy to this one too, is some are just sociopaths. And I don't mean that in like name calling. I mean like
legitimate.
There are people
textbook
that
sociopaths
do shit to other people because they just don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever they feel in the moment. Yeah, narcissistic, sociopath, pathological, whatever. They have the inability to whatever.
It seems to me that it's all a matter of maturity. There's a certain level of maturity that is lacking for all of the reasons why you just said that they cheat. I think. I mean, like I said, I am not a professional, so I can't make any actual. And
ladies or gentlemen, I'm not telling you this is why. I mean, this is just some ideas. Because then I'm gonna in a minute I'm gonna give you a quiz, Fitz.
And quiz?
Yeah.
Is it fill in the blanks or can we do
study? It's multiple choice.
Okay, good.
And you can tell me, and our Facebook viewers can also chime in on this if they want. But here's another thing. I kept seeing lots of articles or whatever saying, about women cheating. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to sound like self-righteous or anything, but I've never cheated. I tell you, by the end of my marriage, I wanted to. I had fantasies of being whisked away, because I was getting, it was a pretty crappy situation. And I had, I'd have fantasies about, I wish someone would come along on a white horse and treat me like I wanted to be, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
but like
I heard that differently. I thought you meant someone came around that was hung like a white horse. Moving on.
Oh, dear God. That was another part of the fantasy. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, I had 3 little kids that I never went out of the house. And so anyway, but not that it would happen. I was just I was a bit self-righteous back then. My parents were married for 64 years. And
God bless them.
And I was like, oh, it's an institution, blah, blah, blah. And it just wasn't in my DNA.
Did you ever talk to your folks about what's their advice for how did they stay married for 64 years? They're kind of from the silent generation, so they didn't really talk about that. I
didn't talk to my parents about much of anything of importance. No, I take that back. I mean, my parents just weren't they don't want to get into that stuff.
Yeah, they didn't share. I mean, they're Irish.
Yeah.
They're not the kind of people that share their feelings.
Yeah, I'm 56. I'm still waiting for my sex talk from my parents. So
it's a little late. I think you figured it out.
Yeah, and that ship has sailed. So going back to that. Oh, you know what though? Here's another twist. Once I had kids of my own, I started to you know how you kind of reassess shit that happened when you were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And when I have 1 boy and 2 girls, and then when the he's the oldest, and then the girls, and when they started coming along and getting up into the puberty years, I was like, oh, I gotta discuss this shit. And we'd see stuff on TV, and I'm like, Yeah, if some guy does that to you, like, you, you don't have to do that. So, but anyway, it made me think of, and I did this. I had a boyfriend in high school, and that was a long-term thing. Is I was so in love, and we started like the beginning of my freshman year, and it went till he went away to college. He was 2 years older than me, so he was away one weekend, and I was hanging out with our friends like we always did. It was like my sister and a bunch of kids that were on the swim team. We're sitting on somebody's porch, stoop. That's what you call it.
Stoop.
On a stoop. And anyway, should I tell you what happened first or what happened later? Okay, so anyway,
Oh no.
okay, I know, sorry. This is really shitty storytelling by Madge. So we're sitting on there, and this one kid, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. We're in the front of the house on the porch, and I walk to the back of our friend's place where the back door, where the back porch was, where the bathroom was, that the kids used. And I went in there, as and I'm walking back. It was dark back there. This other friend of ours who I didn't know, as soon as I turned the corner, he like grabbed me and like pinned me up against the wall and started kissing me. And it was just like, vroom, and I'm like, and
Yeah.
within that 2 seconds of him kissing me, I didn't know another one of our friends was following him behind him, and he saw us. So then later on, several months later, the witness tells my boyfriend that I cheated on him, and it was really a devastating thing to our relationship. I mean, as much when you're 15
Yeah.
years old, 16, and he was all like, "You cheated on me," and you would have thought we were like a 30-year married couple.
Oh yeah.
Or something,
Well, it's
and
your
like
whole world
yeah,
at that point.
and about this 2-second kiss. So anyway, when the girls were older, it made me realize, and I was the villain. He went on and he held it against me for so long. You did this to me, and he tried to break up with me, and he did, I guess. I don't know. I don't remember. And so I called him and I said, "You know what? I want you to know that you made me think it was my own fault, and I did believe it was my fault. And you know what? It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I did absolutely nothing wrong." And he's like, "Wow." And I'm like, I just feel now with my girls this age, I got to tell you, I didn't do shit. And y'all talked it into being my fault, and I did nothing.
So you went and told him this how long after?
I know. 40 years later.
Yeah, but you know what? That's the kind of thing when it happens to you at that age, it sticks with you for ages, for your whole life.
Yeah.
And I think it's great that you got that out. That's something that you had to get off your chest.
Because you don't know how many times, well, I mean, anybody, I was going to say women, how many times we're made to believe that shit's our fault, like, you wore a low-cut dress, you were in the wrong place, you should have known. But I mean, even anything, and so men or women, your parents, they tell you you're stupid and whatever, and or even getting abused, and you think it's your fault, and it's not. And there's some point you got to say, it wasn't my fucking fault. So anyway, I digress.
But that's, it's important because
it was. I really, and I also I got really pissed about it for a little bit. But then, which brings me to the other thing, is that the other person's fault. The guy that did it was one of his best friends. I don't remember him ever getting mad at him.
Now that's screwy. That's screwy. I can definitely say that. Well, so here's what happened to me. Going back to high school, I was supposed to go to New Mexico Military Institute. That's where I was headed.
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but before that, I had to go to Camp Challenge, which is what was at Fort Knox, Kentucky.
Oh.
And I had to go through there. It was an ROTC thing for incoming freshmen for college. And you go there and you do the boot camp for the Army and kind of get acclimated. So I went away. I left. I left before it was over. I quit. I came back. I wanted to stay home, but my parents made me take a vacation to New York with them. Granted, I was living in Florida.
Oh, okay.
By the time I came back, I had figured out, just basically by deducing and asking them straight out, that my best friend had hooked up with my girlfriend. And I was like, I was 18 years old, and I was like devastated because one of the whole reasons why I came back was because I missed both of them.
Oh.
And then I came back and they're together. They weren't together. Like it had happened and they were like, we can't, this was bad. We just, just forget it. And I was like, something felt wrong. I'm like, why does this feel so wrong?
Yeah.
And I said, what the hell's going on, guys? And they're like, oh, we got together or whatever. And, I tried to be the bigger man. I'm like, whatever. It was a mistake. Let's move on, da-da-da. And then I slept on it. And I got up the next day. I woke up. I got in my car. I drove all the way to my friend's house, and he answered the door. He just woke up. I'm like, we can't be friends anymore. And I left. I walked away. But that feeling, but
that's a little bit justified because it was a betrayal by both people.
Yeah. But my point is, 10 years later, probably 10 years later, I managed to reconnect with the guy to say, it's no big deal. Like I'm over it. Like, let's say, because we were best friends all through high school. We were inseparable. And then suddenly it was like, boom. And then they started dating and we all had the same friends. So we would go somewhere and be like, oh, they're here. And I would be like sick. Yeah. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
But I still had to get that off my chest.
Sure. Well, yeah.
Even though I probably, I was being too nice. I probably should have said.
Yeah. I'm so mad that I took all the blame.
Yeah.
When I was a victim.
Yes.
But that happens a lot.
That happens a lot.
So anyway, let me just get back to what I was going to say about women cheat too, that I found, and not, I don't know. Some say almost as equally as men, close to, less than.
Yeah, I don't have the stats on that.
Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I've said there's 18 million, whatever, polls or some shit.
Oh yeah.
But it says that now was it an amalgamation of different information on brides.com.
Oh yes.
That's a professional study.
Brides.com.
Now this one is pretty lame. The number one, it says dissatisfaction in relationship. Well,
I mean, yeah, duh.
Shit. Yeah. But anyway,
isn't that's the number one reason, right? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
but here's this. I think this is probably a major one for women. I don't know about men. I guess maybe so. I don't know. Low self-esteem.
Yeah.
You got to go outside to keep getting more validation.
Well, speaking from experience, if somebody showed interest in me or was flirting with me, I ate that up.
Oh yeah.
And I, was like, and because I had such low self-esteem, it was a big deal to me. And I thought about it more than I should, rather than just saying, okay, thank you. I'm fine.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, oh, and it goes back to the whole idea of the game, of the challenge.
Well, I was watching this one clip and they mentioned something that my post-divorce, like I got divorced 2001 and I have never been remarried since then. I've had 2 long-term relationships, but excuse me, the first 8 years out of my divorce, I didn't have a serious relationship. for a lot of reasons. One, I was ultra picky. I didn't want one. And then I had kids. And then also probably I wasn't, you know, I wasn't ripe for the big.
Mhm.
Nobody wanted one with me. My ex-husband was a bit mean to me and always telling me that, you know, and he blamed, of course, blamed me
Yeah.
for his affair, that I'm the worst wife. I was ugly, I was fat, I was everything, you name it. And so, you know, the first guy that paid attention to me, you're pretty, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so the thing that I learned, that if they're really charming and lay that stuff on, it ain't gonna go very far. I'd fallen prey to it, and they found out there's a name for it called love bombing. Like they
Love
come
bombing.
on really strong, and then I deduced from this too that anything that starts with a bang ends with a whimper.
Mm.
And it's just the thing. It's I don't know, the game of they just love the feeling of falling in love. I mean, they're not really falling in love, but you know, there's a rush of romance, or they want to. It's just a game. I
Yeah.
don't know, whatever it is, it's a game. So love bombing, ladies, if they come on really strong in the beginning, red flag. But anyway, so anyway, I had really low self-esteem, so I like fell hook, line, and sinker for that once, more than once. But also they say emotional starvation is why women also, which I guess falls into that. Also, here's one that I know is a big one, is revenge. Revenge, cheating, or anger. You know, you're pissed, so you're gonna go up somebody else. Lack of excitement. I don't know many women that have ever talked about lack of excitement.
I've heard about that. I've heard, you know, that's kind of like the workaholic's wife.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, I guess.
They have everything they need, but there's no excitement. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
So they want to go out and find that again.
Well, then the next two kind of go into that. You're sex deprived. I don't think any woman feels that until like you're like 40, because that's when our hormones kick in. That's when our sex drive kicks in. I'm not kidding.
In the 30s? 35, I heard, was the...
Yeah,
so between 35 and 40
30,
something?
5 foot, yeah. Then it's like... Anyway, and then they're lonely. That's in that other thing.
It's a saddest
Here's an
one.
interesting one that I could probably say I've known some people with this. It's called insecure attachment style. So
that sounds like something that comes with your car, like while you take your car to the shop. I have insecure attachment style. It's
these new headphones are the insecure attachment style.
So what does that mean?
It means that you glom onto people and numerous people. Yeah, like clingy. You're really clingy, and you just gotta.
I was a clingy guy.
Were you?
Yeah. Because of my low self-esteem, every time I started dating someone, it was like suddenly they were the world.
Yeah. That was me and my college boyfriend. I think that was a bit with my marriage too. I ended up being overly understanding girl too, though. But I do know when I thought that my husband was cheating, I became obsessive about it. Which was not good. But I think that was a lot because I had untreated anxiety at the same time. That was fun. And but also he was gaslighting me and saying, "No, you're crazy," when I had all this like really incredibly, you know, all this proof. And so he's just like, "No, you're crazy." So then I became like, "No, I'm going to prove this." So anyway, just the couple things more. They say midlife crisis, depression, opportunity, I guess. Oh, I just fell on his dick. I don't know what happened. It was an accident. And then there is that numbing feelings. Like I know that too. You just go out and sleep with a bunch of people because you're sad. So anyway, not that that's happened in the last several years.
Yeah.
But anyway, So that's the reason why. So now I'm going to give you a quick quiz before we get to the news about, tell me if you think these things are like yes or no cheating, or sketchy but not really cheating. Okay?
Okay.
And if anybody's watching out there on Facebook Live, you can give your answer in the comments. So, and this is from BuzzFeed. Sophie and Maxine decide to take a break from the infamous "we were on a break." They decide to take a break from their relationship to focus on themselves, but hope to get back together. They don't specify any rules. 2 days into the break, Maxine hooks up with her friend Riley. Is this cheating?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, if they're taking a break and they're trying to work on themselves, she needed a friend to help work on it.
She didn't say what she needed to work on.
But really, I mean, yeah, you said that they didn't have any rules. They didn't express any rules. But you kind of have to. You can't expect someone to say that they're cheating. You can't expect to think that that person's not cheating when you haven't made it clear. Bridget says no, by the way. I just put it out there.
Bridget, you don't think that's cheating?
It's not.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheating either. And by the way,
anytime there's a break,
I didn't.
What the hell does that mean?
So using this logic, I was a little bit of an asshole in college. I had a boyfriend that that whenever I wanted to go out and do something, I would say, I don't know what I want right now.
Yeah. I think my wife was like that when I was going after my wife back in the day. It was always like, oh, I just got into a relationship. You're just so late. You're just a little late.
I was just like, I wanted this one guy to walk me home from the bar, and I wanted to make out with him. So I said, I don't know what I want right now.
Sounds like you just wanted, like you didn't know what you wanted. You just, what you wanted was not that at that moment.
Lying.
Yeah. So
whatever. I can't.
You were in college too. I mean,
exactly. It's like I was drunk 3/4 of the time.
Right.
Anyway, Carter and his girlfriend Serena go to a party. At one point, Serena overhears Carter being very flirty with another woman and telling her that he would totally hook up with her if he were single. Is this cheating?
It's in poor taste, but it's not cheating.
Yeah. No.
If he was making plans, then that would be, I guess, stage 1 cheating, I guess.
Yeah. If he said, I would totally do that if I were single, give me your number. Then I was like, you're kind of ass.
I could say that it might as well be cheating. You know, there's that philosophy that if you've gone over it in your mind, then you've done it. It's the same thing. That's what some people say. So if I imagine sleeping with this woman that I see, then I'm cheating. Whether or not it's actual physical cheating or if it's just in my mind. I don't necessarily believe that, but that could be an angle.
I my views have changed as I've gotten older. There's a whole shitload of cheating going on out there.
Whole lot of cheating going on.
There's a whole lot of flirting. There's a whole lot of talk you shouldn't be having. There's a whole lot of, there's a whole lot of stuff.
Yep.
So I'm inclined to give people latitude because I don't own anybody.
Now,
I don't own
you particularly in your situation, but what if you were married?
I think at this point, I don't own you. I can't stop you from doing anything. You're going to do what you're going to do, but how I react to it after I find out is another story.
Okay. That's fair.
And how he delivers it. You know, it's like if he goes and tells me, "Hey, I shouldn't have been talking," and blah blah blah. Okay. Or he does it, he's a serial flirter or DMer or picture trader or whatever.
Right. Richard Pick.
now I'm like, do you know how many times, and I'm not saying this has nothing to do with me and like if I'm good looking or anything. Do you know how many times a week I get hit on by married men?
9.
I don't know how many exactly, but several. So
I thought this was part of the quiz.
no, sorry, this is just me. But like I used to be like, well, how could you, and now I'm just, I kind of roll my eyes and I was like, okay, it probably just, but then there's some of them I'm like, you act like this is like a daily occurrence
Mm-hmm.
that you step out on your wife, and it probably is like, oh, what's the big deal? Come on, let's go, you know.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the philosophy that you have to take. That's the position that you have to take, because if they're doing that to you, then you know that you're not just the first one that,
Oh yeah.
After seeing you, I decided I was going to stray.
Yeah. Well, exactly. So it's a number of things that, well, one, what is Bridget? I can't have my glasses
What
on.
do you think about trust after a breakup? What do you mean?
Oh,
I don't know what she means by that.
do you mean trusting that person or trusting anybody?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Because that's a tough one.
This is a whole. So anyway, that like if you get with somebody that's a serial cheater, you're gonna get more serial cheating. But if here's the thing, and then there's times like, but if you don't know the guy's married, that's a whole nother different thing.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I don't think that the married guys, they usually don't open with that. So maybe some do.
They're wearing a ring.
Okay.
Or I've known them for many years, or worked with them, or just known them, acquaintances. Yeah.
Bridget means trusting anyone. Like after you break up with them, how do you get back to trusting someone?
That was a hard one for me after my divorce. I went from this end of the spectrum to this end of the spectrum, and the guy would not call me back in a few minutes, and I'm like, I know you're with somebody else, I know you're cheating. Yeah, I was a psycho for a little bit. So yeah, but you have to
I don't know if that means you're psycho. It just means that you've been hurt and now you don't know how to react.
Yeah.
You're oversensitive of that situation.
Yeah. I went to extremes for a little bit. But then there's like, if you are, but I was going back to like, if you know the guy's married or whatnot, like I had that happen a long time ago. After I was married, I went out with a guy a bunch of times. I had no idea. Oh, he wasn't married. He was living with somebody, but still. And I had no idea. And she, I guess, found my number and she called me, and I was like, I had no idea. I'm really sorry, And then you have ones that I guess, then this is when you go about the going after the other person. For one, if they don't know, they don't know. How are you going to go after them? It's not like they did anything. But if they did know that they were with somebody else.
Uncontinued.
What?
Or if they did know that that the person was with someone else and they continued to pursue them.
Right. But then when the person gets mad at the woman, it's like, why do you want to be a side piece anyway? And
I guess I guess I could see that, but some women, I mean, that's also a self-esteem thing.
Well, yeah.
Or
I mean, that's my other thing with married guys. It's like I'm the main course, honey. I ain't no side piece. And two, I'm not just in it for sex. I'm single. When you're a single woman, you got your choice. Well, I don't want a married dude. But anyway, whatever. It's just messy. And I don't know why when women, like I've seen like all kinds of shows on TV, and the women will be fighting over the dude. And I want to say he's actually playing both of you. So why do either one of you care? This guy's an asshole.
Yeah. I can't stand those.
Okay. Back to the quiz. But Bridget, the answer is I don't know. You got to work on that. All right. I'll just read one or two more and then we can do the news. Emily has been dating her girlfriend Paige. See, here we go again. For over a year, whenever her ex Maya is in town, they meet for coffee to catch up. They never hook up, but Emily doesn't tell Paige about these meetups. Is this cheating? Ooh.
It's not cheating, but it's definitely not honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I'm like, I don't care. Be friends with your ex. Yeah. But when you get sneaky and don't tell me about it is when I know there's something up.
It's only cheating if there's some sort of, and we're talking about like a one-time coffee, a couple hours hanging out, talking and whatnot. We're not talking about, because cheating could be something that's purely emotional and there's no physical part of it.
Yeah. I knew my husband was having an emotional affair, and I'm sorry, kids, if you're listening, tune this out. No, I mean that's the tough thing. I want to talk about this stuff, but I know. Anyway, so I knew he was having a love affair, and when I finally found a note from her and was like, "Okay, here, you can't deny this anymore," and he's like, "Well, nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. I never slept with her," and I'm like, "This is worse.
Yeah,
I would have rather you slept with her." Just
to have meaningless sex rather than getting involved.
Right. These notes, I love you, can't wait to see you.
Yep.
I'd rather you dick feller in there one night. Anyway, but yeah, this meeting up, I've experienced that. It's not cheating, but it's
not honest.
It's not honest.
Yep.
Harry borrows his boyfriend Ron's phone to make a quick call. While he's using the phone, Harry notices a bunch of sexy pics from other guys saved to his camera roll. Ron says he's never done anything physical. Is this cheating?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Really?
Well, like Bridget says, kind of cheating. I mean, it's
Bridget. I mean, that's mine.
Let me tell you, if I were getting naked pics from other chicks in my phone, and even if I didn't meet up with these chicks or anything, if I was conversing back and forth with them and participating in that is a form of cheating. You're doing something in the mind that is what's normally reserved for your loved one, for your spouse or your other significant other or whatever. So, I mean, you could get technical and be like, no, cheating is only if you actually have any kind of physical sexual contact. Yeah. Sure. But there's an emotional and intentional part of that too.
I get it. I guess since all the stuff I've been through, I'm like just looking at nudies. I don't know. Whatever.
Right. Right. Well, after you get in a 4-car pileup, a fender bender is no big deal. Right.
That's what they call it now, a fender bender.
Fender bender.
I guess cheating is a stupid word, just like would you like it or not? Does that you get pissed at the person or not?
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that's not on here, and this is the last thing I'm going to ask you. Then we can. Do you have news today?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go to news in a minute.
There's always news.
Okay. Okay. Say you go to a high school reunion, or you run into an old flame, your husband, whatever, from years gone by, and you're talking to the person, and you're like, you start kind of rehashing your relationship a little bit, like, I was kind of a dick back then, and I'm sorry, and
Yeah.
We did have some good things. Or then somebody's like, well, yeah, oh, we did have some good things. Yeah, well, that part was never a problem. So ha ha ha. Well, I'm sorry, I am, and I'm sorry, and la 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 la, and you're done. So you're kind of talking about your relationship. Do you think is anything wrong with that?
No. So
Okay, I don't either.
hypothetically speaking, if I ran into an ex-girlfriend
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking and we were like, I was like, oh, I was kind of an asshole at times and I apologize. And she was like, yeah, me too. We had great sex though, didn't we? Yeah, we did. We did. I mean, we did. We had great sex.
Exactly.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
It's not, if you explore that and you start saying, well, remember that time I had you bent over that's when it's like, all right, no, you're past that. You shouldn't rehash that stuff because it's not right, and it betrays the person that you're with.
Yeah, because
yes, you can be friends with your ex, absolutely.
Yeah, and as long as
your ex can be friends with you.
But then when it leads to that, you're like, and let's revisit that.
Yeah, that is. If you continue down the road that will inevitably lead to that, then you're barking up the wrong tree, so to speak.
All in all,
in the family.
All in the family. Are we going to blame the other person?
No, takes two.
Okay. It takes two to make a thing go right. And now, what's that I hear, Fitz? Oh my God, it's breaking news with Fitz.
Yes, it's breaking news. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. Madge Unmuted. Fitz. This is perfect for our conversation. Less people are falling in love at first sight. This year, 40% of people say they have fallen in love at first sight, down from 71% in 2011.
I
don't know why. I don't know why. What would you say is give me the top 2 states you think people are moving to?
Arizona and Texas.
No. A moving company says that the story is from a moving company. So these guys say it, so it must be true.
Oh, yeah.
The top 5 states that people are moving to right now: Idaho, South Carolina, Oregon, Tennessee, and Florida.
I was going to say Florida.
The number 1 city people are moving to is Sarasota, Florida.
What is it with that? I have never been there, and I've always heard people mention that.
Yeah, I've been there.
And the only time I've seen it, okay, you're going to laugh. There used to be a show on TV about, I forget what it was called, about the Amish. It was reality shows.
Yeah.
And that was like a hot spot for the Amish to go on vacation. So I don't know that I'd want to go to a place that was a hot spot for Amish people. How
it was lousy with Amish people? Bridget,
it was lousy with it.
Bridget, I'll tell you, most people are moving away from New York.
Yeah.
You're definitely not moving here. Australia is trying to vaccinate all of its koalas against chlamydia.
I want to know.
Some rockin' koala bears down there. Hey, baby. Got some mentholyptus?
How did they know they had it? And 2, where did they get it from?
I don't know, but it's apparently it's a big thing with koala bears. A lot of chlamydia going around with koala bears.
It's kind of gross.
I think they have a lot of koala bears in the villages down in Florida.
The village. So anyway.
So cool. So what I learned today: don't cheat.
Okay. All right.
Or should I?
No. I mean, don't cheat. No, Kelly. I'm not telling. No. Do not cheat, Fitz.
No.
Oh, here's
not even in the cards.
Here's another thing. When you if you're married and you have kids, that's extra shitty because you cheat on your kids too, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah. A lot of things go wrong. Some people that's just how they are. But a lot of things have to really go wrong for that to happen for some people.
Here's the other thing.
Painful.
Yeah. don't tell other okay, don't tell other people what to do also. If well, I know
You
that's
yourself are
I
telling
just
other people not to tell other people what to do. I'm so
not to
confused.
tell other people. I think it would be helpful if you didn't tell other people what to do. Because, like, we all have that, especially women, we're like, oh, girl, he cheated on you. You shouldn't be with him. Dump his ass. Blah, 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 blah. And some people are going to do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And you can't make them feel like shit about it. Because, like, back in the day when, like, my parents' generation, well, fuck, even my people I know, they know stuff's going on and they stay in the marriage or they stay in the relationship for whatever reasons. Maybe they need health insurance. Maybe they need, I'm not
health insurance is a hell of a motivator.
Yeah. Or financial security or just because
decent meal every week.
Or even if it's that couple decides, okay, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Everybody's like, leave him. He's a dog. He's you know what? Hillary, their relationship is their business.
I want some barbecue, Hillary.
Their relationship is their business. If she wants to stay in it, that's her business.
Yeah.
Would I? Probably not. But if she doesn't care, maybe she just doesn't care. Maybe they have an arrangement.
Their marriage is more contractual now.
Right. Maybe they just have a friendship, type of thing. And it's embarrassing. Don't freaking embarrass me again. But it's people's own business. That's what I learned.
Hell yeah. Preach.
Hey, it's different when there's abuse going on and you want somebody to leave. But again, that person's not going to leave until they really want to leave. It's like somebody who's drinking alcohol. They're not, and they need to quit. They're not going to do it until they're damn good and ready.
That I know for a fact is true.
Yep. Me too. Anyway, that's what I learned this week. Thank you. And next week.
All right, that's enough, guys.
Oh, yeah, I know. Next week, if all goes according to plan, and if it doesn't, then I'll just edit this out. If it doesn't, we're supposed to have a Halloween spooktacular with Madge and Biscuit.
That sounds fun.
I'm excited. So anyway,
we have a guest.
We might have some guests.
We want to have
guests.
Yeah. Hey, if you'd like to be on the show, reach out.
Hey, if you'd like to be on the show and you're funny and interesting.
You don't even have to be interesting. You just have to be funny.
Yeah.
Or you could be interesting and not funny.
We'll make you
funny. Helps.
We'll make fun of you. No, we'll make fun. We'll make you funny.
That's what, yeah.
If you haven't, or here's a new thing. If you have an issue that's really bumming you out, come on and we'll make jokes about it and make you laugh.
Right. We'll make fun of you until you can't remember why you were upset.
Right. Because humor heals. And that's a whole nother thing that we'll talk about. Welcome to my TED Talk. So anyway, hey, while you're here, before you leave, subscribe, like, share, review, reuse, recycle.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Recycle this show.
Tell all your friends. Yeah, share it and whatnot. And you can find me on all social media, Madge and Fitz, rockfox.com. You know what? I think I forgot to plug the shit out of that in the beginning.
Yeah, so Rockfox, now we have membership possibilities. If you'd like to, if you're going to do a podcast and you're going to do one for the long haul, then you can do a membership, which is just a monthly fee for your studio time. It ends up saving you about 23% more than if you were to do it any other way. So
I like savings.
Yes, saving. So give me a shout, rockvox.com. My contact information is right there on the website, and we can chat about your show.
Fitz is the best. You go to him
I try.
and record some shit.
Yeah.
That's his new slogan.
Come over here and record some shit. Well, or you can mouth off.
There you go. And with that, thanks again for joining us, and we can't wait to see you next week on Madge Unmuted.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.